Yes, welcome to the Edward Fowler Show live tonight from the lovely Manchester, UK. We're going to slide in here. What we're going to do right now is we are joined by a great wrestler, a awesome wrestler here in the UK. You are, I believe, I'm going to say the second UK wrestler to come on this show this year. I know I've joined myself in the US too much time, really, so I need to come back to the UK for once and interview somebody here in the UK. Everyone know who this is, by the way. You know, he's has some TV experience, you know, and it's fantastic to come on. Nathan Cruz, all the way in the UK, somewhere in the UK. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good. Thanks very much for having me on, Edward. I've been enjoying the sun today. We've had a real good day here. I live in East Yorkshire, just on it's like a little part just outside of Hull. Hull's the city that I was born in. But yeah, it's been a really lovely day. I'd apologise to you and anybody watching right now because I'm actually sat I've got a tiki bar in my back garden, and I'm sat in there right now. And the only way I could set this up is with this window behind me, and I know it's causing a glare right now, and I realise it's very unprofessional of the professional. But yeah, I just want to apologise for that because it's the only way I could set this up. And it's best to do it out here because if I'm in the house, I'm disturbing my fiance. So she gets a little break from me where I get to come out here and talk wrestling and whatever else we're going to dive into. And she can, I don't know, she's watching, I think, something called Dare on Netflix right now. So yeah, give her some peace.
Interesting. Anyway, there we go. A tiki bar. Is that where you go and you bring all your wrestling friends? Like after a show, you bring them all down to your tiki bar and you get more drunk and hang out after a nice show. Is that what you do after a show?
Like to be honest, not. Around this area, I have more friends who are just kind of detached from wrestling. The only friend who's part of wrestling really who's been to this bar anyways is Matt Myers.
Okay.
Matt Myers has been my friend since I was 7. Lucas lives nearby, Lucas Steele, but he actually hasn't visited the bar. Like last summer when I had my summer barbecue, he was very much enjoying his time at home with his daughter. She wasn't even 1 then. So yeah, like he hasn't actually been around to visit it yet. Kaz Crash actually and Dara Diablo, they've also been around here, but not as many. Like the guys who I travel with predominantly, Lucas, Adam Maxted, and Robbie X. So those are the guys I spend the most time on the road with. Miles Kim and Dave Graves as well, but like those guys actually haven't visited the bar yet. They've been to my house for my Christmas party.
Oh yeah,
a big Christmas party every year, and they've been for that. But obviously around Christmas time, all the gardens closed off. But yeah, I love when I first moved into this house. Like I saw the potential of the garden, and I'm a big gardener, and I guess it's just within me to be quite a creative person. Like this shed at the back that was of no use really, and I thought, right, I'm going to convert that into a little tiki bar. It sits right next to my pond, so I've got the waterfall coming to my koi pond. I've got a deck out here with a nice little fire pit. So yeah, I mean this is great for when I am home. Like I get to really relax, but. The person I spend the most time out here with is my fiance. We just, when I am home and I'm not on the road, she's not teaching. We get those rare days off together. I just get to sit out there with her and really chill and just relax. And it's awesome.
well, that's cool. That's good to hear. Of course, while you were discussing what's your friends and who's been to your tiki bar there. I'll just put it on the screen, literally. Hashtag the Father Show to send in your questions. If you got a question for Nathan, let us know on Twitter or in our YouTube chat. Let us know if you got a question for Nathan. I've got so many for Nathan this evening. And we're going to begin right now with the first one. Talk to me about your time in both New Generation Wrestling and British Revolution Wrestling. BRW. Talk to me about them two companies, how you got involved, and some of your favourite moments you've been a part of so far in both those amazing companies. Because them two are some phenomenal companies. They are some of the most talked about companies in the UK, I think. I'm sure you can agree.
I'll cover BWR first because my history with NGW is long, so I'll probably spend a lot of time talking about that. BWR I've only really recently started doing business with. It's been a case that we just haven't been able to line up dates, or just like when they were first starting out, they didn't really have anything for me creatively. There was giving some of my students some opportunities, which I was immensely proud of, and really grateful to the company for. We always had good terms. I managed to do one show for them last year. Had a real good match with Joe Hendry that I was really pleased with. And yeah, we just kept in touch. And obviously, as I just mentioned, Matt Myers is, he's been my. We were 7 when we became friends, and I'm closing my 30th birthday now. So yeah, we've been friends for a long time. And he's a regular there, and they're putting together this second to none group. Lucas was otherwise busy with a date for I think it was GPW that night, and so they needed someone else to team with, and just put this group together. And so Matty, suggested me. BWR liked it, and so yeah, we're going forward with that. And I get to. It was amazing to hold a. There was a promo picture actually. Matty tagged me in it yesterday. Oh, yeah. It was me and him holding these tag team championship belts, and I was like, "This is awesome!" Because I remember when we was kids growing up, dreaming of wrestling. We had a little, as many people did, a backyard promotion, and we was the tag team champions. And I remember having a picture of us with the belts, kind of similar to that pose. And I just thought it was really cool to actually now see this is, done on a professional level for. A promotion that, like I say, is doing really well in BWR. So yeah, it's cool. I'm excited to see where it goes once we get past all the current madness that's going on in the world right now, and I can finally lace up my boots and go back to work. But it's going to be quite a while away yet. But when that happens, and I'm looking forward to what we're going to do with BWR. NGW, oh god. So NGW actually started in 2008, and it was started by a good friend of mine called Luke Ingemels, who was actually my first tag team partner. He and I trained together, and Matty was also a part of this. There was a group of us that had kind of spread our wings and started venturing out. I was getting a lot more work around the Yorkshire region and even further afield because El Guerrero took me under his wing when I was about 17, 18, and really helped me out. And so there was this, Luke came up with the idea of I want to do my own wrestling promotion, and we fully supported him in it, and we all pitched in with ideas and tried to so I was about on the scene at that point, so I was able to get some contacts with some talent. So yeah, I was part of their very first show in 2008. Going into 2009, I could see the promotion was doing badly at the time, and it needed a something to steer it in the right direction. That was when Rich Dunn came along. Me and Rich had been basically he wanted to become a wrestling promoter, so he'd been learning from Alex Shane and Andy Quilden. He'd really schooled himself in it, and he was doing a co-promotion with NGW and IPW for like a one-off show in Hull, just to kind of get his get into promoting his fair show. It went well, and I could see the potential that NGW had with Rich behind, steering the ship. So he and I just hit it off. It was this combined passion that we had for wrestling, and we could both see what NGW could be. He ended up, as Luke settled down and had a family. Rich also had a family, but Rich was very committed to making this his full-time job, as well. Luke had another job. So Rich took the reins completely, and NGW began to grow. And at that point, like, my career had really picked up. I'd been taken on by All Star Wrestling when I was 19, so I was wrestling full time now. And he trusted me with the championship in 2011, I believe it was. Yeah, 2011. I captured the first NGW championship. Ran with that for about 10 months as the champion, and I had a really good run in that time. I had a really good street fight with Sam Bailey I really enjoyed. It was a really special match I had with Dean Allmark, which meant a hell of a lot to me. And then I finally lost the title to Matt Myers, and that's, as daft as it sounds, might be one of my proudest moments in my career, because I remember the crowd being so delighted when he won and beat me, who was the quote-unquote bad guy for the past year, who's been stealing this championship in every match. and he finally beats me. The crowd broke through the barriers, stormed the ring, and held him up on their shoulders. It was so cool to see. Um, but then, yeah, and then my character evolved. Eventually, I had an absence for a while and came back in 2014 as a big babyface. I had an amazing championship match at the Hull City Hall. It was a sold out event. I won my second NGW championship off Rampage Brown, and I'll credit him probably quite a lot in this podcast. He's someone who's helped me to no end. He's been the best mentor that I could have ever hoped for. And so to be able to go into the ring with him and have a match of that caliber, and it meant a lot to me because Hull City Hall was where I used to go watch wrestling as a kid, and now I'm main eventing it, and I captured the championship there against someone who's helped mentor me, and my parents were there, my mum's in tears, and it was really special. And then 2 years after that, I turned heel again by kicking Matt Myers in the balls, stealing the championship for a third time, and the crowd there was kids crying. They were so devastated, and I sound awful for saying this, but I loved that because I knew I'd done my job. I knew that, well, not just me, the promotion had done its job, and this is at the point now that NGW's production value is, it's insane. Alex Shane came on board in 2014, and his whole, mission was to help step up the production of NGW, and he got some local TV deals at the time, and he did a fantastic job, and he continues to do so, and has managed to get deals elsewhere with Butlins and things like that, and NGW has just continued to, and I love being a part of it. There was a cage match that me and Matt Myers had in. I've had at the Hull City Hall, I've had 3 main events with Matt Myers for the championship, and I think all 3 of them, if you watch them back to back, tell like an intertwining story that I'm very, very proud of. The third one being a cage match that has still not been uploaded yet. I'm hoping that it's getting, because we did this in December 2017. I'm hoping, because NGW is working its way through a lot of back catalogue footage now to get stuff online whilst people are stuck at home, right? So I'm hoping it's going to get uploaded in that time, because it's, I credit it as probably the best match I've ever had, if not one of, at least. I remember we sold out the City Hall again, and we just again told a great story and had the audience buy for every little thing we was doing. It mattered. So yeah, I could talk about NGW I could probably do an entire podcast on NGW and the special moments that I've had there. There was when I finally lost my third championship. I lost it to Justin Sizem in a match again. That that's a close contender for my favourite match that I've ever had. Like, I remember when I finished that match, at the time I'd been travelling a lot with Kip Sabian. He was a really good friend of mine, and he came back, and Kip and I were really close. We occasionally kiss each other on the lips. And he watched that match, and as soon as I came back from the curtain, the first person I saw was Lucas, who just said like he thought it was incredible. And then Kip looked me, he grabbed me by the face and said, "I think you're the best wrestler in the UK. I just want you to know that," and gave me a big kiss and told me he loved me, and told him I loved him as well. And it was, it meant a lot to me, because at that time as well, it was a time in my career that I was really starting to question myself. I went through a phase of a lot of mental health issues after I got the fallback from the WWE medical thing in 2017, and I was questioning whether or not I was good enough anymore, and had a lot of self-doubt, and was even contemplating quitting. And I came back from that match where it had gone absolutely perfectly. I made Justin look like the superhero that we're building him up to be, and the crowd were just ecstatic when he beat me, and then to have that respect and love for my peers when I came back, I was I was so delighted with that one. Like, I welled up with it, and it meant a lot to me with Justin. Like, there's a lot of history. Justin and I, I'll probably go into this, but like my first match I had for WWE, me and Justin were a tag team at SmackDown against the Usos. So me and Justin had been on this cool little journey together, and there was this bond between us. And that match meant a lot to me. Like, I've had so many special moments at NGW. I really have.
You really have, and as you said about after your medical, I'm thinking of giving up. I'm very delighted that you didn't give up at that time, because everybody who got in touch and seen you at shows all know that you are one of the best in the UK, and that we're so happy that you decided to carry on and prove the WWE and other companies who didn't want to take you on because of other things that you can actually do belong in the world of wrestling.
I appreciate you saying that, I do. I mean, it was one of them things that I didn't know I had high blood pressure. So yeah, I got this, it was tough. 2016 was when I got the call from William Regal. So at that point, I'd been a professional wrestler for 10 years, and everything I'd worked for a decade. I wrestled on my 21st birthday. I was in Skegness. I went home for my 21st birthday. I'd missed my fiance. Now I've missed her birthday. In the past, I've missed my mum's birthday. My ex-girlfriend, stuff, that ended up being an ex-girlfriend because wrestling started becoming the strain on the relationship. And all these things that I've done, like time away from home, with friends and stuff. And I kind of felt like, here it is. I've got everything I've ever worked for. This is all I've ever wanted since I was 10 years old. It's all I've worked towards for all my adult life. Here's this contract. I've signed my half. I just need them to sign theirs. And I'm going to be part of this UK tournament. God knows where this is going to. And it was, I had all this excitement, and then literally within a sentence, it had gone. The sentence just being, okay, your blood pressure's high. I can't pass you. And well, what now? And it was just. It was mental, and I ended up, obviously my health's primary, because there's more to life than wrestling, I guess. But at the time, you couldn't have told me that. This was the be all end all, and then to just see this WWE dream, because it wasn't just wrestling. My ambition. I fell in love with wrestling when I was 10. Well, I fell in love with wrestling as a kid, and when I was 10 years old, I watched WrestleMania 17. Many people my age and who grew up and saw that event regard that as the greatest pay-per-view of all time. Undertaker Triple H, that match finished, and I remember Undertaker draped on the middle rope. He's got the blood trickling down the middle. It was for it, and it was at that point I was like, I can't just be a fan. I've got to do this. This needs to be what I do in my life. Because I just had to, and that moment of my life. So I'd been geared towards wanting to be a WWE superstar. There was no other alternative to me, and everything that I did on the independent scene was all about getting to there. It wasn't, and so when that fell away from me, and I kind of felt I didn't have a goal anymore. What do I do? They're not going to touch me because I've got this high blood pressure condition that I've got under control now because I've got prescription medication, but for whatever reason, WWE just was not interested in me anymore. So I left it and didn't know really what to do, and then thankfully WOS came around that gave me some motivation, and I just kept ticking forward, and then it was a case of just thinking, well, I'm very fortunate that this is my job still, and me and my fiance get to pay a mortgage, and I've got a car, and we're saving for a wedding, all based off the fact that I haven't had to go get a second job here. This is my job. Pro wrestling is my job. That's really cool in itself. And I just reassessed everything, and I was at Full Sail in Florida one year, 2017. I had a bad run-in with somebody who worked behind the scenes of NXT there. And I started to reevaluate everything. Started to think, well, why is it that I really want to go here? The WWE product is very different to what it was at WrestleMania 17.
Yeah.
And it just kind of made me reassess everything. And it was I emotionally broke down in the back of Full Sail, but when I went away from that, it was probably the best thing that could have happened to me, because then it made me reevaluate everything and reassess, and then I kind of gave myself new focus. And then things like AEW come along, and I look at Marty Scale, who I've been privileged to work with on a number of occasions. See how well he's doing at Ring of Honor, and it was just kind of it woke me up to the realization, look, Nathan, these other options. This isn't the end of the dream. This isn't the end of the road. There's other possibilities for you out there, and I look at an AEW because I look at the talent that's there, I look at Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko is an agent, Arn Anderson's an agent, Tully's there. All these guys who I'm heavily influenced by. Or if I could have, if I could dream of so many people to pick the brain off, to learn and get even better than myself, those are names that I put on that list. So I'm looking there, thinking, there's, and I've got friends there, right?
You do.
Kip's there, Jimmy's there. There's going to be to me, it's the place that I'm now looking at. That I don't just want to be there. I kind of need to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in a good place now, and I'm glad that I got past that. And like I've said this in previous podcasts, it's not to say that I'm not gonna. If WWE ever did reach out to me in the future, it's not like I'm just going to go, no, not interested, because that's stupid, right? That's bad business. If they was to reach out to me, hell yeah, I'd consider it. Of course I would. There's money there, there's exposure, there's, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, whether, whatever I got from it, it would be a part of this journey that I've been so fortunate to live for my entire adult life. So yeah, it's not off the cards, at least on my end. Whether it is on their end, I have no idea. It is what it is. But like I say, somewhat like AEW seems a lot more appealing to me right now.
Yeah, absolutely, as you say. And never say never about WWE, because you never know. Crazier things happened with that company, so anything's possible. You never know.
Yeah.
But on the subject, of AEW and Ring of Honor. Now, of course, I don't know if you actually did any research on me when I just reached out to you on DM, because to me, I get a lot of random fake accounts every day adding me to these bizarre groups. I don't know why they keep doing it, but anyway. So when I reached out to you in your message request, did you see if I was legit before you responded to my message, or did you just took it as face value?
I clicked on your profile and I saw John Skyler on there and Jared Fritz. Skyler's a good friend of mine. Known him for about 7 years now. He was recently just over here in the UK in February. He stayed at my house.
Nice.
So yeah, I saw those guys and was like, okay, this guy checks out, because I trust John, I trust Jared. So yeah, check you out.
Yeah. Well, it's a great thing, because many get up on it, don't even research me. So it's like, okay, I could tell I've had on the walk, and you still come on the show, kind of thing. But yeah, because I've had on. I don't know if you know these guys personally or not, but I've had on Mark Haskins as well. I've had on. I don't know if you ever met him or not, but he was quite the character on this show.
Haskins, I go back with Haskins. Me and him. We did the infamous Screw Indie Wrestling in 2013. But yeah, Max, a friend of mine, he has been for a number of years now. We're not in touch as much as we used to be, but yeah.
Gotcha. Well, on that show, I by mistakenly called him Mark Haskins, because it was quite easy to get the names mixed up. So a few times in that, so it was quite a interesting episode. Anyway, and then of course I on your friend John Skyler back on. I think it was February. It's a long time ago now. It feels like last year. The way we all are in the world, and he was a great guy. Of course he was for PWX and other companies in America, and of course we had on Jared Fritz, and of course you guys as well. You are quite close to Dash Wilder from the Revival. I have to say, I said that back on my show back in February, that I enjoyed when he bounced on SmackDown on Fox a few months ago, back in December, when he decided to fall over the entrance ramp on the way to the ring.
I mean, I don't know
how he missed it.
Oh, you missed it?
No, I mean, I don't know how he misjudged the entrance ramp, kind of thing, because it's the same entrance ramp every week, isn't it? I don't know how he's missed that.
I think he was walking backwards out of the curtain just for whatever reason. I don't know. I saw the clip online. I haven't actually even spoke to him about it. I just saw the clip online and thought it was funny. But yeah, we've never actually discussed the falling backward. I know him well enough that it was never going to bother him. He'd just make light of it. I thought the funniest bit for me was when he stood up and he clearly tells Scott what's just happened.
Yeah.
because Scott doesn't see it. He's too busy looking forward.
That's right. Yeah.
He
That's
tells
right,
him what's happened.
Yeah.
He's just pulling up.
But I mean, how did you and Dash Wilder and John Skyler all meet? And did you all meet in America or over here? Or
it was over here. It was over in England. So I actually met Dash first. I met him in 2012. He came over for All Star Wrestling, which is Brian Dixon, the longest running wrestling promoter in Europe. He's doing his 50th year anniversary tour at the moment. Well, not at the moment, obviously, but like this year. So yeah, he came over for him in 2012, and I instantly, it was a mutual thing with us both. Like we instantly had, respect for each other's in-ring work. And then we was in the car. We used to travel in this. We used to call it the Beast. It was a big 8-seater car that we all used to bundle into. And we're all traveling this one day, and a police motorbike goes past.
Yeah.
And I just happened to quote "Dumb and Dumb." Over, and then from the back of the car, Dash yells, "It's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing." And I turned around and was like, "Killer Boots, man!" I was like, right, I'm going to really get along with this guy. And then, he goes back home. And then the following year, he came back, 2013. He came back and he brought John with him. And I was there one of the first days that he was here. It was like the Skegness. Big hug, great to see him again. And then, he introduced me to John, and just the three of us just hit off even further. Like, obviously, me and Dash had already got on from the year previous, but like that year we spent a lot more time together on the road. There was, especially me and Dash, there was quite often it was me and him against each other, or teaming together. And if we was teaming together, we were sometimes against Skyler. So it was awesome. Like I can't say enough good things about them. They're just really good guys, and I think even back then, like I just knew Dash was going to go on to bigger and better things. Like he has that thing that can't be taught that some people just have, and he has, and it's a presence. The moment they walk out, they just have it. And I knew he was going to go on to bigger and better things. But the best, I think, what's made our friendship so special is that he's easily the most successful friend I have. Yet it has never once changed him. He's probably, he's even more humble and giving now than he used to be, because he can and he wants to. If you're a friend of Dash, he's salt of the earth, man. I can't put him over enough as a great human being. Like away from wrestling. Like we could both quit wrestling tomorrow, and I still know he'd be my best friend. I still know that I could just, call him, text him, and just
count on him.
He's a really good guy. I can't put over enough. I know I'm kind of killing his character here because he works as a good heel, but he's a one of a kind human being.
He is, and he's one of the top heels in WWE, or as I say was. I don't know, because he's not really been on TV ever since for ages now, has he? So I don't know what's going to be next for him and his partner. But the Revival, because I do like the theme tune, and I do miss the theme tune being played now every Friday night. So I had to go on YouTube to play the song because I don't see him anymore on TV.
Has WWE missed the opportunity with those guys, or what?
I think so.
NXT, they proved without a doubt that in my opinion, and I'm not saying this because he's my friend, but they're the best tag team on the planet, man. Like, they made tag team wrestling interesting again and cool, and even inspired me to think, right, there's a skill that I've not got. I need to hone in on this. And at the time that he was really setting the world on fire with the Revival, I was part of the Origin in progress, and me and Ligero were the tag team champions, and we had a string of really good tag matches coming up, and before each of them, especially the one where we lost the titles, I would message Dash and say, right, any advice, anything, like, and he's always been great for that. He's always in helping me out with that type of stuff, and his mind for it's so good. Like, he's such a brilliant brain for wrestling, and Scott too. I've been fortunate for my friendship with Dash to be able to sit down with Scott a couple of times, and not necessarily talk about wrestling, but just talk in general. But like that passion always ends up shining through, and there'll be something in the conversation that you can take that always applies to wrestling. And they're just incredible in everything they did in NXT, and that debut that they had on Raw. I mean, that's one of the biggest crowd reactions I've seen in recent time. I watched that and I cried. I don't have any shame in admitting it, like, because he deserved it. He fully deserved it. You know, if anybody I knew deserved that type of reaction, it was Dash. WWE just dropped the ball with it. I mean, I know they had some injuries on the way, but you've got these guys who are literally incredible at what they do, and there's been a couple of times where it seems like, oh, we're getting something going here, when they were doing like the top guys thing with Shane.
Yes, that was fun.
Phenomenal.
That was fun.
They did rated FTRKO with Orton, and that was brilliant. But it just seems like, you know, that writer's done with them, so the next writer isn't even bothered. It just, do you know what I mean? Like, they have this month or two where somebody's writing for them, and then they get handed over to another writer, and
they got nothing
about them. Yeah, and it's awful to see, knowing how talented they both are, and you know, I understand their frustration completely, and they've been vocal about it. I don't blame them. You know, it is what it is. It's a shame. It really is. But I don't think it's the end of the revival by any stretch of the imagination. I think that's part of their story. We've seen that now. We've experienced it, and we're going to experience the next chapter, and it's going to be amazing.
It will be amazing. It's going to be amazing, all right. And I'm sure your chapter will also be amazing. But I have to bring up this because there's two things we will not be agreeing on tonight, okay? And that's, one is your football team, the New York Jets. That's one thing we're not going to be agreeing on. That's the other thing. That's the one thing. And the other thing is your friend Kip Sabian, who's in, of course, AEW, of course, right now, All Elite Wrestling on TNT every single Wednesday night and every Friday night on ITV4. And, of course, he comes it live on Fact TV, who also follow me on Twitter, by the way. I'm just plugging that because I like Fact TV. And if I don't do that, they might say, what's the show? And he might think, he's not really a big fan of ours. But there we go. It's on Fact TV every Wednesday night at 1 a.m. in the morning, UK time. But, I mean, I have to say, though, that Kip Sabian is quite an arrogant kind of guy. You know, all he cares about is really himself and his lovely girlfriend. You know, I don't know. That's my opinion, because you know him much better than I do. But, I mean, is that kind of the right statement, or do you think he's a better man than he's portrayed on TV?
I think he's very good at his character. He's very good at what he does. And if you've managed to get that opinion of him from what you've seen on TV, then he's doing his job. He's getting.
You agree with me? You agree with my statement then of what I
in regards to Kip Sabian's character, yes. He's doing a great job of getting under your skin at the moment, and you know, to me, that's what a quote-unquote bad guy should be doing. Like, I hate cool bad guys. Like, if you're going to be a bad guy who's going to go out there and try and get, you know, any type of positive reaction, you're not doing your job right, man. Like, you should be going out there to annoy people and make the baby, like, the good guy, right? That's you want them to be cheered, you want you to be hated, and you want the audience to see you get your face smashed in. That's the goal, right? That's what we do. Kip's doing a great job of that, and he always has done. That's why I took an interest in Kip so many years ago when we was both working at WAW in Norwich for the Knight family. I saw him. I thought he was incredible at what he did, and I think I saw him as a babyface before I saw him as a bad guy. He is
a phenomenal talent. I have to say, that's one thing I can agree with you about. He's phenomenal talent. You know, he does some unique and awesome moves that not many people can do. So, you know, he's got my respect for that aspect, you know, kind of thing. But to me, he's a bit arrogant and a bit all about himself, because even with his girlfriend at West sometimes. And if I was his girlfriend, I would slap him in the face. That's my if I was his girlfriend kind of thing.
Like I say, he's very good at what he does. He's very good at what he does. He'll always be my kid.
Of course he will. And Before I move into the next video, I want to talk to you about the new network, which I'm sure you know about, to do with British Wrestling Revolution, I think it is. I always get that with it's either British Wrestling Revolution or British Wrestling, one or the other. I think I got it right the first time around. New York Jets, why them? Because I think they're one of the worst teams in the NFL. My favorite team is the Las Vegas Raiders. It's much catchier, much more better. It's in the best city outside of Manchester, UK, Las Vegas, Nevada. Why the New York Jets, and who are some of your favorite players on that team, and who do you think would be a great player for your team in the upcoming season, if there is one this year?
Well, yeah, this year's season is very much a question. So, long story. Well, I'll keep it as brief as I can.
No, we got all night. We got all night.
It is a ridiculous story as to why I support the New York Jets. But so, I think it was like 2004.
Okay.
I watched my first ever Super Bowl, and I wanted to check out. It was broadcast on ITV, so I was like, I want to check this out. It's a huge sport in America. Let's see what it's like. And I enjoyed it. That was really good. I thought, okay, next season I want to follow this.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to follow it, I should pick a team. Now, my favourite colour is green, so I don't know anything about football at this point, other than the fact I've just watched the Super Bowl. So I'm going to go on the fact that green's my favourite colour, and I remember seeing the New York Jets logo quite predominantly in Elf, the Christmas film. And I'm a big, people know me, I love Christmas. So I was like, well, I guess the New York Jets are my team then. And that was it. And then that was 2005, 2006 season was the first season I followed, and I soon realised what a mistake I'd made. But I didn't want to be a glory supporter. I was like, you know what? If these guys might be bad, but if they ever once again make it to the Super Bowl like they did back in the Joe Namath days, if they ever do, I can say I was with them in the trenches. I was there in 2010 when they made the famous arse fumble. The only year I didn't support the New York Jets was when they drafted Michael Vick, because I think he's a scumbag and he's an awful human being for what he did. And I just couldn't support the team because of them drafting him. They shouldn't have given him employment. It made it questionable for me to follow them again. It was like 2 seasons that I just did not. I didn't really have a team. I just watched football, but I couldn't support the Jets because they had him on. But then when I got rid of him, I think it was 2016 that I started to really follow the NFL again, or it might be 2017. But I was like, okay, I'm going to really dive back into the Jets now. We've got rid of Vic. And one of the players that I'm big on who plays for the Jets is Bilal Powell. I think he's a really good player. I prefer him to be on the pitch than Le'Veon Bell, to be honest with you. They spent so much money on Le'Veon Bell, and I don't think that they've seen the results, really. I think that when they put Bilal on instead, you get we get more yards on the pitch. He's there, or field as they call it there. But that's the history of me with New York Jets. This season, I don't know. Because it's so up in the air that usually by now we'd start looking at the combine and stuff like that. News would be creeping in about that. Who might be coming through college into the drafts and stuff like that. But we're not getting any of that at the moment. So it's because of what's going on in the world. So yeah, I really couldn't make a prediction.
Fair enough. I want to say as well that that's an interesting story. You came across the New York Jets through the Christmas movie Elf. Okay. Now, of course, I was going to say you had a few teams who wear green. You got the New York Jets. You've also got the Green Bay Packers. Their logo's kind of greeny and yellow, aren't they? So you had two teams. We went New York Jets, which is fine. New York team. You bet like a New Yorker, aren't you? I bet when you are in lines, you like to shoulder barge people and say I'm a New Yorker inside my heart, kind of thing.
It's so strange though, because if all the times I've visited America, I've really been in the southern regions, and that's honestly the areas that I prefer. So early this year, when I was there, I was in Orlando for a bit, and then I flew to Asheville, North Carolina, which is where Dash is from. He was showing me around there. Fell in love with the place. I love the Carolinas in general. Like every time I've been to North Carolina, I feel at home. So yeah, like, and there I am sporting my Jets stuff, which is, you know, the more northern.
Yes, much more northern indeed. Much more northern.
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird.
It is weird, but it's a good story. Good story, is it? Anyway, let's move on to this now. Okay, so earlier this month, on April Fool's Day, now first when I saw this post by British Wrestling Revolution, BWR, on Facebook, I thought it was a joke at first. I didn't know if they were really going to do it or not. Okay, because I thought April Fool's Day is when they're launching it, so I didn't know if it was going to be a real thing or not. But I'm glad it was. On that day, I checked him out all day on April Fool's Day. I was going to message him saying, "Is this going to happen? It's April Fool's Day. Don't see nothing yet." But I waited, and finally it came out, and it's real. And you can now relive all your favorite moments on that network, according to Nathan Cruz as well. And Nathan Cruz, is there any particular moment or match you want fans to check out of yours to see some of your best work, or any bloopers you may have seen in your time?
I mean, like I said, I've had 2 matches at BWR, but I mean, I really enjoyed the last one. It was the one I did, the TLC match, Rourke and Cole against myself and Myers. You know, Cole started training with us, with me and Myers. We had training at the NGW Academy, so I mean that's cool in itself. There's one of my students there, and you know, Scotty started coming and doing the odd session with us, and he's, you know, I think he's got a lot of potential as well. I think, you know, it was a real cool match. It was enjoyable. The audience enjoyed it. We really got under the skin of some people. Me and Myers. I think that's good. I really liked my match with Joe as well. I thought Joe got to the venue very late as well.
Oh.
So he got changed, and about 5 minutes later we were out in the ring doing.
Oh wow! No time to prepare either. Flippin' heck.
Yeah, and me and Joe go back to those tryouts with WWE. There was like a group. Me, him, and Justin in particular really got along. We did a lot of extra work, and Katie Lee's, who's Chardonnay, Lady Darcy, whatever you want to call her, she was also in that group. There was like 4 of us that was travelling around together, doing a lot of extra work at the back end of 2014 for WWE, and it's just a good bond that grew with us. And you know, to go and wrestle with Joe, who's, you know, I've got a lot of good things to say about Joe Hendry. I think he's a class guy. It was just a good match. Just enjoyed it. It was just, you know, I felt it was a good debut for me. It was a good showing for Joe. Crowd seemed to enjoy it. Yeah, it was just one of those. But it was just another. It was also just another night at the office almost for me as well in that regard. Like, it was, things went well, but I remember the next day I was up very early, and then I was on the road for the next 3 days with NGW doing the Butlins runs, and yeah, it's a good match. Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. You can do so. It's about I can't remember the exact price, but it's $5.99. But it's actually £6 because of VAT plus £1. So it's really £6 a month. It's not bad, really, for some fantastic events all the way back from 2018. So do check it out. I've got it. That's right, I've got it. I actually bought it. So if you don't believe me, check out yourselves and see all the amazing moments of BWR so far. I want to know this as well, before we go any further. Your social media links have been on the screen throughout the show, off and on. And if people are just listening to this and not actually watching this, where can they find you on social media?
So Twitter, Nathan_Cruz90. It's the same handle for my Instagram page as well. There's a fan page on Facebook, The Professional Nathan Cruz. You can give that a like. I've started bothering with that more recently. I used to neglect that quite a lot, but since I can hyperlink it to Instagram, that's made it a lot easier.
Yes, most definitely. Because now you don't have to go on it now, do you, on your Facebook? You just go. Just do it on Instagram.
So like my personal Facebook is personal. So I sometimes get fans and even some trainees trying to add me on there, and I'm like, look, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but I want to keep something private here. Do you know what I mean? Like,
most definitely.
So yeah, if you find my legit account, just leave it alone, please. Just please respect my privacy in that regard. Recently, I've started doing a weekly YouTube show called Inside the Toy Room. So yeah, I'm a big toy collector. I've been for years, and obviously, due to the things taking place in the world right now, just needed something to do to occupy myself. And one of my very close friends is a very talented video editor. And then another good friend of mine is a very good graphic designer. So graphic designer put me together a logo. Me and my good friend Andy, we shot 8 episodes all at once, and he's been editing in, his way through them. We've got episode 3 coming out this week, which is episode 3 coming out this week, which is going to be about the X-Men animated series and the toys that come along with the X-Men. But we've previously already got uploaded Batman the Animated Series and the first episode, which was Small Soldiers. They're about 5-7 minute episodes. But yeah, just check that out. It's something I'm very passionate about. I love being able to, and the response I've had from it has been good. It's been really positive so far. And even if I've had people say they're not into toy collecting, but they just enjoy me presenting the show and telling the story of how these toy lines came to be. Because I like to give a bit of history into it as well, not just be like, oh, this is what I've got.
Yeah.
Boring.
It would be,
yeah,
and maybe gloating as well. If you just did
exactly. That. I don't really like to. Yeah, I'm just kind of saying like I like to talk about. I don't even show like the full collection that I've got on certain things. Mainly because I'm trying to space out the episodes as well. But yeah, like I've got that going on. There's an Instagram page for that as well. It's just at Inside the Toy Room.
Yeah, you just launched that just recently, haven't you, as well? You just launched that Instagram account yesterday or something.
Yeah, I literally launched it like 2 days ago.
2 days
ago,
yeah.
I'm just trying to keep myself occupied really with whilst I'm away from wrestling, and that's something I'm really passionate about and I'm really big into. And like I say, it's a project I'm working on with one of my close friends in Andy. So like it's if you could help support that by just giving us a subscribe, giving it a thumbs up, leaving a comment, sharing it on any social media platform you wish to. That's awesome. It goes a long way into helping spread it. We've just reached over 200 subscribers, which is our little. We've got little goals on the way. It's first 100 subscribers, then we want to get to 200. Now we want to get to 500, and then eventually, but it's just a slow climb. You know what I mean? We're only about to do episode 3, so we're only just over 2 weeks into this. But yeah, it's cool. I'm really enjoying it so far.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. And again, make sure you do follow Nathan Cruz on all his first social medias as well on the screen again there just for a minute. Because again, it helps him out, helps him to expand his audience to new markets and to new people from not just here in the UK, but maybe to more people in America or Europe and other things like that. And who inspired you then in wrestling, and as well, who do you think would be a breakout star in the future when things go back to the norm?
Miles Kamen. Miles Kamen, David Graves, 2 people that I think have got a huge future. Ethan Allen is someone else as well that who's just got something really good. Something that you can't teach. Again, it's that little ingredient and the hard working. Big Guns Joe, I'm a big fan of his as well. There's a lot of young talent that are coming through. There's a tag team that's coming out of our training school called Reese and Rogan. Just 2 bruisers. They're doing a bit of work at GPW. They've done some stuff at BWR actually as well. And I just like their physicality and what they bring. There's a lot of young talent in this country that I think has got a lot of potential to go far. And there's more opportunity than there ever has been. Well, I'm hoping it's still going to be that way after this all finishes. But those are some talents that come to mind straight away. Miles has been. I don't think there isn't a wrestling trainer in the north of England that he hasn't gone to see. And that's a credit to him because he really wants this, and he reminds me so much of myself when I was that age. Like I'd bomb around to as many different places I could, always asking for feedback. He's so keen to learn. He's so keen to develop. he'll do whatever he can to get an opportunity, and that's to me the key to success in this. He's been trained with Marty Jones, El Ligero, myself, Rampage. He's doing one-off seminars when they're available to him. And guy just goes to shows sometimes just to pick the brains of other people and watch and help out and do what he can. If he can get on the show, awesome. If he can't, no man, there'll be something else for me to do. Mm-hmm. And that's a great attitude to have. So yeah, I think a lot of miles in that regard. Dave Graves, he got injured a couple of years ago. He blew his knee out, and then since he's come back, good lord, he's just ignited something in him, and he's become next level. He really has. I think he's got a big future, and he's such a good callback to old school British wrestling. Real physical in how he does it, but he's got he spent a lot of time training with Marty Jones as well, so he's picked up a lot of that old school technique. And he's got a Big Guns Joe, great character. Ethan Allen, absolutely. I love watching him work. When he comes to train with me, sometimes I just think he's enjoying it being in there, and I'm enjoying watching him. Jack Bandicoot, actually, there's somebody else. So I think he's so unique.
Yeah.
He has his own style. Nobody wrestles like Jack Bandicoot at all. And I think he's just so versatile in what he can offer for such a short dude. He's so entertaining, so entertaining. And although this is wrestling, it is sports entertainment. And what we do is to entertain people and allow them to escape reality for the duration of your match or the duration of a wrestling show. And he's very good at that. I watch his matches at training, and I forget about reality for the 6 minutes that he's doing a training match. He's a brilliant young wrestler. He's very, I think a lot more eyes need to get on him, but when those eyes do get on him, he's going to go far.
Interesting. Well, we'll keep a lookout for him, and definitely in the coming months once things go back to normal in things. Now, of course, you talk about this wrestling school. Now, are you the owner of the wrestling school, or you just want to use one of the trainers at this wrestling school? And if you and where can people find this wrestling school on social media if they have one? Because people might want to apply to be a part of this wrestling school and all that good stuff as well. And any advice you may have to anyone who's thinking of stepping into the ring.
Okay. So I don't own the wrestling school. I hired it. It's NGW's wrestling school. They have 3 schools. They have one here in Hull. They have one in West Yorkshire, Batley, and then we have one I think it's Durham, which Rampage runs. So I'm the head trainer at Hull and West Yorkshire. Matt Myers is the assistant trainer here in Hull, and Rampage is the head trainer up in Durham. His assistant the assistant trainer there is Screwface, Jamie Ahmed. Mm-hmm. Such an underrated talent. He's so good. But yeah, if you're contemplating getting into wrestling, there's a few pieces of advice that I wish someone had told me so many years ago, 14 years ago now, God. And that would be, first of all, research the school, research the promotion, research the trainers, who's teaching it. Have they got a good pedigree? Because where do you want to go? I had a terrible start. How I've managed to make a career out of this, considering who trained me, is baffling to myself. It was before Ligero, it was before Rampage. He was an absolute thief. Let's just put it that way. And then so research your school, research your trainers, and I was very good in the sense of as a kid I was very athletic. Not I was into any particular sport, but I was always doing stuff. Whether I was into gymnastics at school, doing it on the trampoline. I was wrestling with my friends in the back garden. I was very good at track and field at school. I used to enjoy running. So I had good cardio, which helped me. But I was skinny I was skinny fat when I first started. I was 15. I had a little podgy belly, tiniest little arms. I was about 9 stone if I was wet through. I was so small, and I aren't saying that you need to be a giant in pro wrestling anymore because the job has changed since then. But it helps if you look the part because people can see guys have a beer fight, a brawl in the street, average looking dudes. People you can see that happen. Go to your local pub, someone has one too many, gets a bit leery, a fight will probably break out. But what they can't see is larger than life characters, whether it be how you present yourself as a character and also your physical image. Now, you need to be in physical condition to do this, regardless of what anybody tells you. This is not fit. It hurts. It may be fixed. We may be portraying characters, but it hurts. And you'll find out the first time you take a bump in a wrestling ring, the first time you even hit the ropes, and your lat will get all welted. You'll take a forearm, and then you'll be seeing stars. It's gonna hurt. Don't kid yourself in thinking that it's not going to, because it does take a toll on your body. So yeah, just be prepared for that. And if it's something that you're contemplating now, I'd advise doing some kind of fitness, daily fitness. Get yourself into an hour's exercise a day, whether it be a bike ride, a gym session, whatever it is that you choose to do. But just be prepared for the fact that this is a high intensity. For 20 minutes, it's go. When you're in the ring, 10, 15, 20 minutes, it's all go. Because even when one guy's on the mat and you're then having to present yourself to the audience, you're acting, and that's also a great skill to have. If you can act, amazing. Now, I was fortunate that that's something that's always been a second passion of mine, and I naturally fell into it. And all my education after school, I did really well in it at school, and then after school, I went on to college and to do some theatre work, and I enjoyed that, miss it even, and it's helped me develop and evolve my character over the years, so it doesn't stay the same. It's always progressing, it's always changing. But you can't get into this job and just be a charisma bypass, because it's just not going to happen for you. Again, like I said earlier, it's sports entertainment. If you want to get into that type of combat sport, pursue MMA, pursue amateur wrestling, pursue boxing. But if you want to get to what we do, you need to have a personality. You need to be able to, entertain people. Just being a good athlete isn't enough. You've got to have that something else that makes people want to listen to you, that makes people want to watch you, that makes people want to hate you, like you, laugh at you, whatever it is, whatever emotion that you're going to be tugging on that night, you have to be able to go out there and do it. So yeah, an acting ability is awesome. If you can, if it's something you're already interested in, then go and do an improv class. Do you know what I mean? Or just practice scripts, cut wrestling promos, do whatever you want to do in your spare time to just enhance that acting ability. Do you know what I mean? And also, you've got to love this. Don't get into this job if you think it just sounds like something that might be good, or it's going to take. You may not make a good amount of money from this, and you may even be. You might be fortunate that you do make some good money from it, but then there's a very good chance that you're not going to make good amount of money. You might be skint. You might have to run a second job. And all the while that this is going to be beating your body up, and then you're going to have to commit to a gym, and you're going to have to commit to a certain diet, and it's going to consume your life. So you need to love this. If you don't have a love for this, it's going to eat you up emotionally and physically. So just really ask yourself this before you get into it. I have people come to my training school who just want to have that one match, and they're so dedicated to getting that one match that they throw everything into it, and I love seeing that. I want to make that dream come true for them. I have people who want to come in and they have the same ambition I have. I want to make this my full-time job. I want to get to the WWE or Japan or wherever it is that they want to go. Okay, I'll do my very best to get you on that right path. And then I have other people just coming in and going, I thought it'd be all right. And then you can see the ones who make it, the ones who are in the training school. just in me explaining that, you can tell who are the ones who are going to become something there. So yeah, you've got to love this. You really, I think that's the primary thing. Like, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to put your body through it? Like, I love this more than I can ever say. Like, I miss going out right now and putting my boots on and going to wind up an audience and have them excited when I'm getting battered, when I'm in pain and they're enjoying it. I miss that, and maybe I'm a little crazy. Maybe we're all a little crazy to do this. But yeah, it is. You really do. I can't stress that enough. You do have to love this to be able to do it.
Some fantastic advice there to anybody who is thinking of stepping into the ring with somebody who is a trainer, knows how people make it and who people don't make it as well. So great advice from Nathan there. So again, if you think about that, then we might see you in Nathan's school, if that makes sense, like the head trainer of the NGW school. I'd clarify that for a minute, because I know it's not your actual school, but you're like the base they will see when they come through the door, depending in what location. There's 3 of them, as you mentioned at the beginning of that message. There, of course, we tried to reach out to Rampage Brown around the same time when I tried to reach out to you. But I never heard of him back from Rampage Brown. I went through his website, and you can contact us now, but I don't know if that was just for his shopping website. So I mean, they might have dismissed it because it might be for his shopping. I don't know, who looks after that site. But anyway, maybe somebody can get me in contact with them. If you're watching this, maybe you can replay this to Rampage Brown for my attention there. Let's talk about this then. We can't do our upcoming shows because, again, we don't know when the upcoming show will be now. May, people are saying about May shows are going to be going. I don't know about that yet. I don't think, my personal opinion about that, I don't think there'll be no shows going in May. Or I think maybe end of June. I think we're looking at maybe into July or August. I think we might see some shows. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm going to believe. I think we'll be out of this lockdown by end of June, July. That's what I think. But let's talk about this merch. You're a wrestler. You must have some merch. Where can they find your merch?
I've got a Big Cartel website, so nathancruz.bigcartel.com. Or is it .co.uk? It might be .co.uk actually. Check that out. I've got limited stock left in at the moment. I'm not earning any money right now because of this. So unfortunately, I can't even invest into buying new merchandise. I've got a lot of 8x10s, autographed 8x10s left that I can still consign and send out to you. I can do personalised video message via Celeb VM. I'm still on now, I think it is. So yeah.
Celeb VM. I know that website. Yeah, they follow me on Twitter as well.
Yeah. So I can give you like a personalised message on there, or you can even just send me a message and ask me to do. Now I've had people ask me to do a wrestling promo for them for like a birthday. So yeah, I can do that type of thing. Also, other ways that I'm making money at the moment, basically. So yeah, I've still got my 8x10s available on my Big Cartel. I've got a limited supply of some of my professional t-shirts, but I say like they're very limited in the sizes and colours that are still available. But yeah, I mean, once all this is over, this time of year I usually have a new line that I always launch around springtime for like the year of like, oh, we have new t-shirts or whatever. And I had something in mind that I was going to be doing, but obviously who saw this coming? So yeah, I don't really have them available right now. But yeah, there is some stuff on there, so go ahead, check it out if you want to buy anything just to support me through this. Like I say, I don't qualify for universal credit, unfortunately, because it goes on your joint income, and they think yeah, I'm going to go into what my missus' income is, but it isn't enough.
No. Like too much personal information there.
Yeah, they think that, whatever they believe that people can live on, it isn't enough. But thankfully, I had some money put away, and we've been able to get like a 3-month mortgage holiday, which has helped out. So, and then in June, they have this self-employment thing that's going to be available for us to apply for. So hopefully that'll help out. But yeah, for right now, my big cartel or just a personalised video message, that's the best way you can really support me at the moment. Wish I could.
Yeah.
What else to do, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and again, if you can actually, if you can afford to, then support Nathan Cruz with his merch and help him out with some extra funds, if you can, of course. We know because you've heard this a lot of times. We're all in this together, and
exactly. Money's short everywhere at the moment. Now everybody needs to watch the pennies.
Apart from China.
Don't worry about it. Like, I don't want to be the cause of somebody not eating.
Exactly. Now, the only country which can actually now help people is China, because they just came out of the lockdown, apparently. So it's all eyes on China to see what happens there before we see what happens around the world. Now then, as well, on this very show, over the past almost a year of launching this YouTube channel, we did have a podcast as well on Apple and Spotify, which had us stopped. I could be bothered to upload it from YouTube to there, so that's why we stopped that. But on this channel, we've had a lot of people on the show, and it's good to have you a part of our history, Nathan Cruz. You know, we've had on UFC fighters, we've had on pro wrestlers, people from The Apprentice UK, a whole variety of different people, and I'm glad we're able to add your name to that list, of course, with your best friend, one of your best friends, John Skyler, in the world of wrestling anyway, your American friend. But who would you suggest me to contact next to come on this show?
Matt Myers. I think Myers doesn't get enough praise for what he does as a pro wrestler. I think he's criminally underrated, and I think just getting a few more eyes on him, a bit more attention about what he offers. He's got a character called Chuckwood that he does at Wrestleverse, and a few other promotions that I just think is hysterical. Is so good. But yeah, he's class, man. He really is a really good wrestler. So yeah, he'd be, and he'd give you a good interview as well. Like, he's got a lot to talk about. He like I say, we grew up together, and then we kind of went on different paths with this. Like, he still wrestles, but it's not his full-time job. He's got another job. As where I mean, this was it for me. But yeah, he's got a cool story. I definitely think it's worth listening to. And he's charismatic. So yeah. I'm sure I'll do a good job of telling that story.
Yeah, I just while you were just telling me about who Matt Myers was, I just googled him as well. And actually, funny thing was, he was actually he was born, according to Wikipedia, born on the 16th of June 1991. Very close to my birthday, but not from 91, but around the same dates. He's about, he's around the same time as where I was born, but in a different year. But there we go. I'm glad he's a June birthday as well. Of course, we look forward to see what you do next. Maybe you might appear on AEW, because I know they are hunting for new talent, and I'm sure you've got to be on their tail.
I hope so. Like, who knows? It's wrestling, man. I don't know.
Well, you've got.
Just changed like that. They could contact me. I could fail another blood pressure test.
Nah.
I have no idea.
I think their swimming method is a bit different to WWE. I'm going to guess.
I mean, yeah, and full disclaimer, like I got that sorted. Like, I'm on a prescription medication for that now. My blood pressure's well under control.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm sure you will pass it again. If you have to do it again, I'm sure you will pass with flying colours. If you do
I hope so, yeah.
But I mean, because you got Jimmy Havoc in that company, of course he was with MLW as well. Of course he called the England's most dangerous man. I don't think he's England's most dangerous man. I know a lot of other people who can do much more damage than Jimmy Havoc can do. But you got him, Lunatic Him, on there. Luckily, it's more of a down-tone version of Jimmy Havoc. Thank God of, because I think some of the stuff he does do is a bit. I have to say, because if you want to see what his dangerous stunts, then check out MLW every Monday night at 10 p.m. on Free Sports. There you go, free plug for them. And of course, you got Kip Sabian in AEW. So, there's about 2 people there as well. Because, of course, Jimmy Havoc has wrestled in BWR as well, like you have, and other great companies here in the UK. But, I mean, when these things go back to normal, is where you can find NGW on Facebook, New Generation Wrestling on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, British Wrestling Revolution on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well, BWR. And is there anything else you personally would like to plug, or anything you want to say which I may not have asked you, or you think is very important to get off your chest?
No, at the moment, like I say, you mentioned New Generation Wrestling. They're currently part of something, I think it's called Indie Mania, that Wrestle Talk have launched. Oh, yeah. And I think it's like 18 British wrestling promotions. There's NGW, there's Rev Pro, WrestleGate, WrestleVerse. There's so many. Eve there on there. There's so many on it. And for this subscription service, you get access to all these promotions, and they're uploading content constantly. So go check that out, because a lot of my matches do feature on there, because I work for a number of those promotions. But also, 18 promotions.
Wow.
In one place, you know what I mean? And like say, pretty much the cream of the crop of British wrestling. Rev Pro is one of the best promotions, I think, in the United Kingdom.
Yeah,
in the past 10
10
years, something like that they've really been dominant. NGW, again, can't say enough good things about myself. WrestleGate, very new but very promising. WrestleVerse, just absolutely bizarre. Eve been doing some great things for the women in this country. So yeah, check it out. Definitely give it a check out, because I think you'll see a lot of current and upcoming talent there that you'll enjoy watching. On the only other personal message I just have is, please stay at home, everyone, and stay safe during this time. Like, I know a lot of people get tempted to go out, but every time I see something on a social media post about somebody sunbathing in a park, like, it just boils my blood. Like, this is pretty serious. Our Prime Minister may die of this. If this wasn't ever going to make history already, that definitely will. That's how serious this is. And I want my life to go back to normal. I want to go and wrestle again. I want to go back to entertaining.
Yes.
And a lot of people I want to see my mum and my dad and their dog. I miss Jasper. I want to go back to America and see Dash. I want to, I'm supposed to be getting married in Jamaica in the end of July. Dash is actually my best man. And I'm, don't know if that's happening anymore. Me and my fiance have made all these plans, and I have no idea if even that's going to be able to take place anymore because of this current situation. So for the love of God, just unless you absolutely need to go to the shop, unless you absolutely need to help someone, or you absolutely need medicine, your daily exercise, and even if you can try and do your daily exercise at home, please do so, because this isn't a joke. It frustrates me that this isn't registering with people how serious this is. Please stay safe, please stay at home, and let's get through this together.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't agree more. And I agree with all your points, because because we're all in it together and we need to follow the rules. And as you say, people who don't follow the rules, it makes my blood pressure go up the roof, because it's like stay at home. It's like, what's hard about that? You'd have to go, you'd have to go fight anybody. If you don't do anything like that, you'd have to stay at home. It's like most people probably would stay at home, and then because it's like the opposite. People do the opposite, don't they? Like, if you were told to go out, I bet most people will stay in. And then when you tell people to stay at home, they go out, don't they? So it's very annoying. But yeah, otherwise,
humans are a very rebellious bunch.
Exactly, I know. And if we don't follow the rules, then this is going to last more than what it needs to be. And from what the experts are saying, it looks like we're seeing the dip a little bit now. So we're finally, that peak is apparently going to go down. That line of keeping it under so much of that line for the NHS to cope with the amount of cases in hospitals. It's quite good now, which I'm glad that the majority of people are following, which they should be doing. So hopefully it'll be over by June because that's my birthday month, and I'm hoping I can go to the pub on my birthday. Unlike some of the other people who couldn't go to the pub because they've been on lockdown, but I'm just hoping that they'll be back home by June. If we won't go to the pub and have a good old beer. I think everybody will go to pubs, and I think pubs will be sold out for the first time ever, I think. But I got one more question for you, though, to do with Instagram. Now, when you post a story on your Instagram, now, of course, out your wrestling friends, out of your wrestling celebrities who view them, do you get any other strange celebrities seeing your stories on Instagram?
I don't really... not really on Instagram, to be honest. Not outside of wrestling. On Twitter, there's... I say celebrity, you'll be known to a certain bunch of people within the weightlifting community, a guy called CT Fletcher. He's in America, so I've never even met the guy, but occasionally he and I will send a tweet back and forth to each other, which is really cool. But no, I wouldn't say any like celebrities per se. Like, there's a few people that other people may see them as a celebrity, I guess, but like I just see them as, like, there's certain models that I know, for example, I've met through wrestling or doing photography shoots or TV, extra work that I've done in the past. But I won't say they're necessarily major celebrities. They're just people I happen to know. But yeah, I won't say there's anyone on Instagram that really follows me. CT's. Yeah, that one was pretty cool for me when he gave me a follow. There's a local TV guy called Peter Levy who works for the BBC in Hull. He follows me as well. Nice. And it's just kind of again, I don't really think he's necessarily a celebrity. It's just it's kind of cool. Like we kind of both support each other. I'm a fan of his presenting work, and it's just cool. That's about it. Like, I don't really have anyone major. The reason
why I brought that up was because when I posted on Instagram about having my last guest on the show, which was Cody Andrews, the former owner of the New York Jets, not New York Jets, sorry, the New York Mets, my mistake, New York Mets, the baseball team. Okay, the general manager used to be a part of the New York Mets, and then he's now analyst on the Major League Baseball radio. He saw my story. Don't know how he found it, or I'm not posted it. You can't put hashtags in stories. God knows how he came across my story, but yeah, he viewed my story. So I'm thinking I might reach out to him to see if he come on my show, since that he kind of volunteered himself to be on my show by viewing my story.
Oh, that's amazing, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know why. I've had some music people who've got like thousands of followers on Instagram. They've seen my story. One of my guests, David Pindell, he viewed my story. That's how he got him on the show, because he viewed my story. I didn't have a clue who he was at first until I researched him. I reached out to him and he came on the show because he viewed my story as well. It's like amazing how these celebs all find my stories, by the way. I don't know. I must have some kind of a celeb face or something about me which attract all these different celebs.
Possibly, yeah. And if they're watching right now, give me a shout out. I miss acting. I'd like to go into presenting. If you want to check out my presentation skills, just check out Inside the Toy Room on YouTube.
There you go. Yeah, nice plug. But yeah, make sure you check all that out. And there we go. Okay, so of course this is coming at an hour and 21 minutes. Can you believe that? An hour and 21 minutes we've been chatting now here on this show. It's gone very fast, hasn't it?
It has, and I kind of feel like I've only just scratched the surface.
I know.
My wrestling career, I didn't even talk about All Star, my time in France and abroad, like wrestling in America and places like that. But I'm sure that's these things I've covered in other podcasts, and it's also leaves room for a future episode. Exactly,
and that means you will come back on here again, I'm guessing, in the future.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and hopefully I've. Might be in a different setting than this, even.
Hopefully,
who knows where in the next couple of years, but yeah.
Perhaps we can get on John Skyler at the same time as you two. That'd be quite interesting. You two together.
That'd be class. I'd love to do like a joint podcast. Yeah. Like, if I'm next back in America, and we can get like even all three of us, me, John, and Dash on.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be great. Yeah, the three amigos. Like Gordon, Gino, and Fred on the the road trip in America.
Yeah.
If you've seen that show on ITV.
I haven't. No.
It's a great show. Last week they actually wrestled in Mexico. They went to some wrestlers came up to them in a pub in Mexico, and they went to this training center and they did a bit of training, and then at the end of the show they actually wrestled in front of an actual fan, actual crowd. It was quite hilarious.
Okay, yeah. So I'd heard of this. I don't watch the show, but my fiance's friend, they watch it. This couple that we know, and they'd asked me about it. They told us the other week, like they dropped us a message about it and said, "Oh, we just wondered if you've seen this because there's wrestling on it." You know, so
that's why I tuned in. That's why I tuned in just to see it.
Gemma's fiance.
That's why I tuned in just to see the wrestling bit. I didn't know it was going to be on the first episode. I was like, okay, this is great. First episode, don't break that long. Anyway, there we go. There we go. Well, it's been a pleasure, Nathan Cruz, for coming on the Fowler Show tonight on this lovely Hump Day Wednesday. It is, of course, the 8th of March. Unlike I said on Sunday, the 5th of March. I did it again tonight. 8 of April. Sorry, I keep doing that. 8 of March, 8 of April. Meant to say. There we go. I don't know what month it is. I should do, shouldn't I? But yeah, 8 of April. I keep saying March. Don't know why. Let's ignore that bit. April the 8th, 2020. Hump Day Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, by the way. And of course, you can find me on social media _Edward Fowler _ or on Instagram, Edward Fowler Show. I'm a bit different with my social links, like Nathan Cruz had to keep things the same. I'm like to keep things different to confuse people, as you say. Of course, if you like this video, make sure to like it, share it to all your wrestling friends in the UK or beyond. Make sure you leave a comment in the comments below to let me know what you think of the show. I love your comments. You let me know on there or my social medias. Make sure you tag Nathan Cruz on them as well if you decide to tell me on Twitter. Make sure you tag Nathan Cruz, so you can see your reactions and any questions you may have. And until the next episode drops, then enjoy your day because, you know, we're out of time here on the Edward Fowler Show. Again, we're doing a bit differently.